Good morning, people. This is just a video I thought I'd make about mental health along with physical disability. This came about because on a Discord server, fellow disabled people were talking about this viral TikTok of a very disabled man doing the Atlas stones, and he was lifting one up. And they were commenting on how this man was actually damaging his body, his form wasn't correct, so on and so forth. And as a sports scientist, I can generally tell you yes, everything was wrong. But he was seen as inspirational. And then the topic came up about why does that have to be the case. I say this because think about how disability is generally portrayed. These inspirational people. But why do we have to go beyond the call of duty just to be seen as human? And this comes up with mental health because we are often portrayed as happy, go lucky, optimistic people in the cerebral palsy community, which is quite strange considering we are only portrayed as people having one emotion, happiness. Now, I used to be this guy that has um, this cheerful disposition. But then autoimmune disease happened and treatment and so on and so forth. And now I'm on antidepressants. Now, how do you go from an happy, optimistic person to needing meds? Well, let me put it to you in terms of like how Michael J. Fox put it in his new book. He says in his new book, the whole thing of when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. Well, when is life going to stop handing me um, lemons? When does it end? When does the agony stop? Because in CP you have to do therapy and surgeries and all types of things, and it's just more work. And then people have to say, "Oh, if I was in your position, I don't know how I would handle it." Okay, I get that, but the thing is, almost half of the CP population develops depression. And then they have to, as stated, go on antidepressants. And then comes up the whole you should be thankful other people have it worse. So you go from giving somebody depression to as guilting them and giving them survivor's guilt. Great! I went from one mental illness to another one. How is that supposed to help the situation? And that Paul Walker quote of there are other people fighting for their lives. How dare you be depressed? Okay, should I then feel bad because other people have it better? Because it's the same logic, just in reverse. You get the picture? And on the survivor's guilt thing, as stated earlier, I seem to have some form of it. Now, I've been to school for disabled people, so I wasn't really bullied. Because how are you going to bully me? Hey, you walk funny. Hey, you're blind. How do you know I walk funny? You can't even see my friends. Oh, hey, you walk funny. And you get the point. We take the piss out of each other quite a lot. We laugh at our disability. And I've always seen people have it worse. But come to think of it, as stated with my autoimmune disease, I got to get proper treatment. I'm a male with it. Females seem to have it worse, so on and so forth. How does this relate to the disability? Why am I so lucky to have a very mild version of it and not a worse version? So even telling that to people. But I'm seeing my therapist in 2 weeks. So I'll talk to her about that. But yeah, the happy, optimistic person. And also, why are we portrayed as only having one emotion? joy and happiness. Isn't that also unhealthy? Isn't that toxic positivity? Isn't a balance of emotions seen as good? These are just things that need to be considered when talking about mental illness and disability and the inspirational disabled person. And this also ties into inspiration porn. Look, this person is got it worse than you and you're complaining. Well, we all have shit we got to deal with in life. Just because I have a physical disability doesn't diminish any of your problems. Sure, having to struggle to walk a bit is annoying, but so is not having your Starbucks guy spell your name correctly. I get that's a rude and strange example, but you get the picture. Okay, bye.